You're basically playing for a star player here. That's the way I'm looking at it. You're playing for that superstar max guy to sign with you.
Tim Hardaway. Yeah.
Tim Hardaway.
Again.
You're playing for Kawhi, guys. No, in all seriousness. I know you don't think Kawhi's going to leave, but Knicks fans, you're playing for fucking Kawhi, bro. Prove that you can at least go to the second round.
What an off.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Max and Juan Cast fam. What's going on, Max? We just got done with a 3-hour stream, bro. We grinding.
Man, I thought I was tired, but you know what? I found some new energy. The Lakers won, bro. So that got me going. You know, that's going to keep me going all night. So I'm hyped. Yo, I was so hyped when LeBron. What are we calling him? I drop Bron.
The real Curry. But look, man, we're going to be getting into some playoff predictions. We did one for the play-in games, but we're going to do a full breakdown of every game in the first round, East and West, okay? We're going to have this out on Thursday. We're grinding today. We just got done with a 3-hour stream. It is 11:45 p.m. We just got done watching the Laker game. So obviously, we don't know the exact matchups, but we're going to do a lot of assuming for the 1 and 8s. But let's get into it, Max, because we got a lot of games to go over. Let's start off in the West, okay? Utah Jazz and
either the Warriors or the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are going to play the Warriors Friday. That's just going to be a fun game. I guess we can just give our pick really quick because we didn't really have it picked earlier in the play. I'm going to take the Grizzlies. They're not going to get beat twice.
Wow. Oh, you're talking about for the playing game?
Yeah, just for the playing game. Yeah.
Well, I got the Warriors. Okay, I think the Warriors are gonna win, but I'll go for both for both series. So let's just break it down real quick.
All right. Well, you give me the key storylines for the Warriors versus Jazz.
For the Warriors, it's gonna be probably Steph Curry. Like Steph Curry is gonna be the guy that everyone's gonna be talking about because if he winds up winning this playing game, most likely he's gonna have to go off. So he's gonna be red hot. He was hot tonight. He scored about 35. So it's going to be Curry, all right? And what can these role players do? Is Andrew Wiggins going to show up? You know, is Draymond Green going to have a shot on the outside?
I didn't really think about the series too much because I'm going to go with the Grizzlies, but just the ability to keep Gobert on the floor is going to be key for the Jazz. We've seen in the past, like Steph Curry put him in the mixer. That was a different type of team, though. Like, this is a much more modern team. Like, this isn't Derek Favors and Gobert together anymore with the guy who can't really shoot. You know, this is like 4 shooters plus Gobert. So, look, I'll put it like this. The Jazz are going to win the series regardless of who they fucking play, in my opinion. And if they play the Grizzlies, the key is either it's going to be Ja or Jaren Jackson having a breakout. This series for the Grizzlies isn't really about winning. It's just about getting the repetition, getting a taste of playoff basketball. Only way I see Grizzlies winning this shit, Ja goes nuts, Jaren Jackson goes nuts, Brooks goes nuts.
Yeah.
The Jazz, just play with effort. Don't be the Clippers. Don't blow big leads. Don't give them confidence, and don't play their game. Play your game.
Play your game. Play your game. And when I say play your game, have Rudy Gobert out there, who's arguably the defensive player of the year. And he might struggle like Draymond Green on the 5. But you know what? If I'm the Utah Jazz, I'm going to say, fuck it. You go ahead and shoot Draymond Green because you can't really shoot from the outside. Play your game. The Jazz are a better team than the Grizzlies and the Warriors regardless. And the Warriors and the Grizzlies are kind of on the same boat. They're going to be depending on one player only, which is a point guard. And that's either Ja Morant or Stephen Curry. And the Utah Jazz are just better as a collective unit. They have Conley, they have Mitchell, the list goes on. Like, they just have a bunch of great players. They play defense. I like Dan Snyder. I'm going to go with the Jazz coming out on top and getting to the second round, regardless on who they play.
Who's your X factor for the Jazz in either series?
Bogdanović.
Oh, that's a good one. I have
Yeah.
Ingles. Like, he's my role player X factor. Like, obviously the series X factor is just Gobert being on the court. It doesn't matter which team they play. Like, he can't be played off the court like we've seen in the past. And for the Warriors, I'd say Wiggins. And if they're Grizzlies, I'd say maybe Valanciunas.
Maybe. Yeah.
He has a big couple games. And what's your prediction for the series? Like
4-1.
4-1 Golden Jazz over Golden State.
Yeah.
I got the same thing for Memphis. Maybe they steal one home game.
Exactly. But let's move on. Let's go to the Lakers. They just won tonight, like we just discussed. They're going to be playing the Phoenix Suns, 51-21. Second in the West, obviously, 2 against the 7th seed. The Lakers winded up just getting very lucky, in my opinion. I was talking about it on the end of our stream. I think they got on the right side of the bracket. It worked out for them with all the shit that went on and going from the number 1 seed all the way down to the 7 and playing in the play-in game. It ended up working out. And it's going to suck because my boy CP3 is probably going to lose another series because I'm rolling with the Lakers, baby.
Well, they played 3 times in the regular season, these teams. I'm going to just preference it with this. AD missed 2 of the games. LeBron missed 2 of the games. Suns won 2 out of the 3. That don't mean shit on this one. There's not really anything you can really gather from it. The storylines for me, can the Lakers find their chemistry? How are the Suns young guys going to handle their first taste of playoff action? That's huge.
Yeah.
They have CP3. They have Jay Crowder. They have someone else. Dario Saric. He's been in the playoffs. But it's not like this team has gone through it. It's not like, oh, this is our 3rd playoffs and together. So how does Booker handle it? How does Ayton? Ayton, I think, is going to be one of the low-key keys to the game. Let me ask you this one. How did the Suns win this playoff series?
DeAndre Ayton needs to become a fucking man. That's the only way they're going to win.
So basically an Ayton breakout performance.
Yes, but on defense, he has to hold his own, and I know it's not going to be easy, but that's one of the main reasons why I'm picking the Lakers as Max yawns, because we just had a 3-hour stream.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry.
But look, I'm going to roll with the Lakers because of AD. AD is going to destroy DeAndre Ayton. That's the big problem with the Phoenix Suns. They love to run that small ball lineup with Saric at the 5, and it is just not going to work against the Lakers. Because as much as you give criticism to Drummond, I feel confident that Drummond's going to be able to destroy Saric. They're not going to be able to run that lineup against the Lakers.
I think AD is going to be the one to destroy Saric, so I'm not really worried.
Regardless.
And look, we're going to go through some of the X factors, but I want to just get this. LeBron played 1 game, AD played 1 game. LeBron had 38, AD had 42. When you look at the roster, there's no matchup for AD anywhere. If you want to put Ayton on him, I don't like that matchup at all. And LeBron, I like Bridges, but he's more of a guy I think who's better to corral guards. He's going to get out physicaled by LeBron. Chris Paul, he struggled this year when they played the Lakers. He's only averaging 10 points.
I wouldn't say he struggled, though.
But he's shooting 35% from the shoot. He struggles scoring. And if you think about it, KCP, Schroeder, who's good defensively, they did good on Steph Curry for stretches. I don't think Chris Paul's going to be able to explode. And Booker, I need Booker to play big. So what do you mean is going to make the Lakers win this series? Is it just
it's the big man.
Stay healthy or feed AD?
No, it's feed AD. Go at DeAndre Ayton because DeAndre Ayton is 1, very young, and 2, he's a problem. He's the one piece of the Suns that's really missing. It's always a glaring question mark for them. I'm not worried about CP3, and I'm honestly not worried about Devin Booker. I'm worried about DeAndre Ayton and how he's going to perform.
So Suns X Factor is who?
Has to be Bridges or Jay Crowder.
No, I'm not talking about a role player. I'm talking about actual X Factor.
Oh, Ayton. It comes back to Ayton. He's the X Factor.
I put the performance of Ayton, and for this I did storylines or a player. I put performance of Ayton and the young guns. How do they respond? Yeah. I'm not really worried about Booker. He's a star, right? But Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Lakers X Factor is, I would say, start strong. Don't be lackadaisical. Don't give this team confidence. And maybe you can put, like you said, but that's more of a key to winning, feed AD, feed him. So the Suns role player X Factor is, like you said, Crowder, or Saric, right? I 100% agree.
Yeah, or Bridges.
He's kind of like too good to be a role player at times. That's why I didn't put him in mine. Lakers X Factor role player is who for you?
Kuzma. Kuzma's always going to be an X Factor. And since they play that small ball lineup with the Suns, it's going to be Drummond. Like Frank Vogel played Drummond a lot this game right now. Marc Gasol didn't see not that many minutes.
DMP.
Yeah, did not play tonight.
Montrezl Harrell 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
I got Dennis Schroeder as my X Factor. If the Lakers can figure out kind of how to get him in the fold and get him like going, they're tough to beat. Like,
it's going to be on the defensive end for him.
I think he's going to be fine on defense. I need him to get a shot back. I can't have him go 2 for 11 again.
Yeah. So who are you going with?
I'm going to go Lakers 4-2. I think they're going to be 6. It's not going to be a sweep or anything like it.
No, I don't think so either. I'm rolling with you. I agree. 4-2. 6 games. There's no way this game is a sweep. No freaking way. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Lakers, man. It's tough. And I just want to spend like a minute on your opinion with Chris Paul if he loses this series. How bad is it going to look with him?
It's not bad. Why would it look bad?
I mean, people are going to judge him off of it, bro.
Saying what? They lost to a 7 seed, that the team that was supposed to contend for the title. I mean, it's COVID, bro. Lakers aren't the typical 7 seed. It's like in the lockout. It's kind of like
it's just such bad luck with Chris
exactly.
Paul, though, bro.
It's bad. I mean,
you know who else kind of has that is Melo.
I would say a little bit. I think Paul has more bad luck when it comes like to injuries and stuff. And like I'm looking at the team stats. Look how Phoenix has been so good this year. They're 9th on offense and points per game and 7th in defense. Yeah. Like compared to Lakers who are 23rd in points and 2nd on defense of points allowed. But it's like so many injuries. So it's like, the Lakers really the 23rd best offensive team in basketball? Not really. But it's like what he's done with the Suns is so transformative, man. He really deserves an MVP post. I know he's your guy.
He's my guy. But that's a great transition, Max. You're on fire today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Let's go into the Nuggets. This is the Nuggets versus the
Trailblazers.
3
versus 6. Season series. Nuggets won 2. Blazers won 1. Jamal Murray missed 2 of the games. CJ McCollum missed the game. Let's throw it all out. That shit doesn't matter at all. I'm going to start with the storylines this time. Where do they find the points that Jamal Murray had? And this isn't like maybe playoff Rondo's a thing. What about playoff Murray? Like after game 5 against Utah, it was a different Murray. And like I like Michael Porter Jr. a lot. I just don't know how ready I am for him to be that guy.
He's the X factor though.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And I mean, you're jumping the gun a little bit, but you were 100% right. This is what I wrote for the Blazers, right? If they win, so what? What then? What? Like, tell me, what do you do?
You lose in the second? Like, oh, you're talking about if they lose?
No, I'm saying, what if they, okay, they win, then what? They get, just mauled to death by whoever?
Well, who would they play? Just off the top of your head, do you know?
Lakers.
Wow. Yeah, that's not going to happen. They're not gonna beat the Lakers. The Blazers are in a tough spot. I know where you're getting to.
It's just bro. I'm like, what?
Speak your piece.
It's just what? What's the ceiling for this team, man? I've been calling for 5 years now. Blow this shit up. Unless there's some really bad injury luck and they hit the Lakers and AD rolls an ankle, knock on wood or whatever. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And to me, Nuggets win the series. Jokic is a freaking problem. There's nobody. Cantor, Nurkic, whatever. Honestly, you might want to put Covington on him. Maybe some length can bother him.
Yeah.
Jokic is he's gonna have to get 30, 10, and 10. And Michael Porter Jr. is gonna have to play like he's been playing the last month of the season. You touched on that. What about the Blazers? How do they win this series?
It's Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has to go off. CJ.
I just don't see how this team can fucking defend at all.
Well, they're not. They're not going to be able to defend. But I really like the matchup for Denver, especially with Jokic MVP type season. He's been tearing it up. X factors. Like you said, I jumped the gun, but it's definitely Michael Porter. He's a guy where it's the difference between being a 7-game series and a sweep if he plays good.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
If he balls, he's going to take them out. They don't have anyone to match up with him. Okay, maybe Covington, maybe, but then who's going to match up on Jokic? Yeah. My Nuggets X factor again is like you MPJ.
Yeah.
Basically, it was basically like who's gonna make up for Murray, and then I put equals MPJ. Blazers X factor is find some way to slow down Jokic. That's all they can hope for.
Carmelo can be an X factor.
I mean, he's more like a role. He's my role player X factor. It's Powell or Melo, and then my Nuggets role player X is Aaron Gordon. If they can kind of get him going on offense,
he's a big part on defense. To be honest,
who would you put him on?
Oh man,
because I don't think this is a good matchup for him specifically on defense. What he does well, like he's not going to be able to corral Lillard or McCollum.
Yeah,
but he can be a great help defender.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Just
I think he's good. I think the next round when they advanced, because they're not going to fucking lose.
Put him on LeBron.
And even if they advance more, and he can play good on Kawhi, that'd be a good matchup for him. Kawhi, it's like shit like that. Like he's a bulky dude. He's not fast.
So with all this said, who you rolling with?
I'm just looking at it. I want to hit anything. Like, this is what it comes down to before I make my pick. Blazers have the 5th best offense. They have the 27th worst defense. Like, the Nuggets have the 9th best defense on points per. These are just points per game allowed.
Yeah.
Nuggets score 115. They give up 110. Blazers score 116. Give up 115, basically. Like, that's not cutting it, bro. When it's the playoffs, the defensive teams, to me, kind of get the advantage because they can be more handsy and they can be, like, more physical. Like, we saw that this game. Like, it changed. Like, Draymond Green, when he hit LeBron in the face, he gets ejected in regular season.
Yeah.
That's a common foul. I didn't agree with it just because of how it's ref the whole year, but I understand. To me, it's Nuggets in 5. Maybe 6. I'm going to go Nuggets in 6.
I'm going to go Nuggets in 7.
You really think it's going to be
Yes,
that?
I think it's going to be 7. I don't doubt Damian Lillard. He's the one guy that scares me. With all this said, like, Porter playing good, Jokic playing good, like, the Nuggets are better. I completely agree. But this guy's like a trump card, bro. Like, he comes out and he balls. And this ain't the Lakers. Like, it's the Nuggets. So, I'm not that confident in it. Like, I don't feel like LeBron would just shut him down. I'm still gonna go with the Nuggets, but it's gonna be a close series. I feel like this series is gonna go 7, 4-3 Nuggets.
Well, this isn't the first time they've played too. Maybe we should have this is what they played 2 years ago, and Denver lost to them in 7. So maybe they'll get some revenge, like you're saying.
Exactly. But speaking of revenge, you're on fire today, Max.
Bro, I don't mean to do it.
That's the best way, bro.
I don't mean to.
But look, great transition. A little bit of salt in the wounds for the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to be facing the Clippers in the 3-6 matchup. Luka, Kawhi, Paul George. It's a great series to watch.
They wanted the Mavericks. They played it out so they'd get them. Season series.
Running away from them Lakers.
Season series, Mavs won 2. Clippers won 1. First game, no Kawhi. So, I mean, take what you want.
I don't take much into any of these regular, especially this year.
There's only a couple I took into, like, if everyone played, it's like, oh, that's kind of like, I'll explain later when I took some of it. But that's why I always put no Kawhi Leonard. It's like, hey, what if it's like with Jimmy Butler. He didn't play against the Bucks at all. So immediately, nope, none of those games matter.
Exactly. Maybe
you can gather some bits of information. But let's get into it. So, storylines, revenge. If you're the Mavs, how disrespected do you feel that, hey, this team wanted to play us? Like, we're some bums or something. Like, oh, they're going to beat us. That's why they want us. Like, that's what I'm saying. I've never heard of a team being like, oh, we want them.
Yeah.
And it's, like, close to me. It's not like the Lakers saying, yo, we don't want to deal with the, like, Warriors. Like, back in the day, right? Yeah. It's not like teams trying to avoid the Warriors like that. It's just like...
So... I'm really confused here. You always do our outlines, right?
Okay.
KP, is he gonna play?
Yeah.
He's playing.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
But the reason what confused you, the fact that I put his health as just because he got hurt last playoffs against the Clippers, and it's like this dude was a play away from being hurt every game. Okay. Like,
no, you're 100% right. I just wanted to clarify.
Okay.
But so automatically, people are gonna probably pick the Clippers. Dallas Mavericks, their number one problem. It's not Luka. It's everything but Luka. It's Luka and the boys. And I have confidence in the Mavericks. Not so much confidence that they're going to win the series. I know I'm kind of giving away my pick right there, but it's just the facts, bro. Like, I just hope they give them a really tough series. I don't think in no means this is going to be a sweep.
I think they gave them a tough series last time, too.
I think they were a KP away from going 7.
Maybe they'll go 7 this time. Well, I'm kind of curious to see how many games you predicted, but I also have in this, PG has a chance to rewrite some playoff sins. I've been seeing people talking about people act like he's never been a big performer. I'm like, since Indiana, he hasn't really been that guy. Like, we can go back. Remember the Utah game with Game 6 in Utah, the loss of Donovan Mitchell, and he was scared to shoot.
The big 3 that failed.
Yeah, the big Melo, Russ, and him. And then the year after, he got hurt. He didn't play that good in the series with Dame Lillard.
He's been having some excuses.
I mean, last year, it was a
train wreck.
Exactly. So he has a chance to rewrite his playoff history, and he needs to. This is a make or break it year for him. It really is. If he plays bad this postseason,
Kawhi's gone.
I don't think Kawhi's gone. I think he's gone.
I don't think he's gone.
I mean, why would you?
I think Kawhi's gone. If he winds up playing bad, I see Kawhi leaving. Well, how is this any different from Doc Rivers from last year? They have Tyronn Lue.
It's a little smaller version of Doc Rivers and lighter and maybe a little younger. That's it. A little more spring in his step.
But it's so weird. It's so weird for a team like this to go far into the playoffs. I haven't seen shit all year that's different, that makes me feel any different. And just the fact that they fucking wussed out of getting a certain matchup kind of rubs me the wrong way. I wanna like the Clippers and say yo, watch out for the Clippers. We know what Kawhi brings, and that what if with Paul George, redemption season. But I really don't. I don't feel it at all, bro. They still don't have a big to guard AD if they do wind up getting far. And Kawhi is kind of lackadaisical at times, in last year. There was times where where the fuck are you?
He tries to turn it on sometimes, and it's kind of a dangerous way to play. I don't know why. I feel like the Clippers, they don't have a great chemistry, and maybe Rondo can kind of right some of the playoff wrongs. But let's go on to how they're going to win this series. How do the Clippers? You do the Clippers, and I'll do the Dallas.
Okay. So the Clippers, it's simple. It's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Those guys have to show up, and I know it's crazy because usually with 2 good players, you'll be hey, they're bringing 30. Regardless, they're going to combine for at least 50, 60. I don't feel that way because of the playoff woes, and it really scares me. And Lou Williams, so that's going to hurt them.
I think Lou Williams might help them. Not having him might help them.
I mean,
maybe some addition by subtraction on that one.
Maybe, but they have Rondo now, and
he's streaky.
Boogie's still on the team, right?
Oh yeah. He got his 10-day, his remainder of the season contract. I'm gonna go take the Dallas side. Obviously, Luka needs to go off, right? Luka can't have bad shooting games. KP needs to step up. He needs to protect the basket. They need to find some way to just slow down Kawhi. Honestly, who's their best defender? Finney-Smith? Your opinion? Richardson.
I think it's Richardson.
I'd put Richardson on Paul George and kind of just let him get cooked if that's going to happen. No, I'm serious. I would leave Richardson on the island, and then I would let my whole scheme kind of be around stopping Kawhi. Don't let him get to that mid-range. It's too lethal, right?
Yeah.
Who's your X factor? Not X factor role player. Excuse me. What's the Clippers X factor? Whether it's a storyline, player, what is it?
I'm gonna roll with Serge Ibaka. I think Serge Ibaka is definitely an X factor. He had a great bubble with Toronto last year, so I'm kind of eager to see that again. Maybe we see that, but it has to be Serge, man. He's kind of had a underwhelming season, you can say, with the Clippers.
He's been banged up, but I feel like he's been good, man. I really wanted him to be a Laker.
Yeah, but I feel like it's him. As far as
I think it's just the performance of PG. It's
really?
Which PG you get. If you get shitty PG, they're gonna lose the series.
Yeah.
You can't have your second guy not show up. X factor for the Mavs, we already touched on it. Help the KP. If he can stay healthy, he's going to change the series. Like, we thought they could have went 7 last year with him. I like the Ibaka thing. I'm going to say one thing about the Mavs. If Tim Hardaway can kind of match PG, yes, Tim Hardaway's not nearly as good as PG. But scoring-wise, you've seen Tim Hardaway put up, like, have you ever seen Tim Hardaway take over a game?
Yeah, with the Knicks.
I've seen him take over games with the Knicks and the Hawks. Like, he's a very talented scorer.
That's why he got that big contract.
Yeah,
with the
and
Knicks.
did you see the report? People were saying they're going to give him 20. Some teams going to give him $20 million again. I'm like, if you guys don't learn your lesson by now, bro, y'all deserve it. Like, we're going to pick. I'm just going to hit you with some team stats. Clippers are the best 3-point shooting team in the league. The Mavericks are pretty pedestrian at defending it. They're 18th in the league. The Mavericks take care of the ball. So do the Clippers. Clippers are very good at defending at 3. They're 7th in the NBA. And that's it. That's it, really.
Little funny stat that I'm seeing right here. Rick Carlisle, 60-66 playoff record, under 500. That's your NBA championship coach. I love Rick Carlisle, but that's kind of shocking to see that he's under 500.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's shocking to me.
I mean, I feel like he's just had some really crappy teams. He's kind of like, I think he's one of the best coaches in basketball. I really do.
I do too.
Like, I think he's much better than Tyrone Lue. And what's his record? I bet it's a lot better, 44-22. I think it's just all dependent on, like, yeah, in the East it's a fucking cakewalk, and in the West it's like, geez, we can't do shit.
I feel you. But who's your pick, Max?
I'm gonna go Dallas in 7.
Dallas in 7. This is your 7 gamer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Clippers in 6. I'm still not confident in KP. Kind of scares me, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's just hard for me to put all my eggs in the basket for Hardaway and KP.
That's a I'm thinking about it. It's kind of a shaky basket to put your eggs in, but I just don't want the Clippers to win, and I think I'm more putting my eggs in the Luka basket than that basket.
Yeah.
But maybe Richardson can step up. Mavericks have a decent team, but they just need to find some way to just slow down Kawhi. That's going to be tough.
With you picking them 7, just before we move on to the Eastern Conference, what series do you think on the West is the most exciting?
This one, 4-5.
Okay.
I think Utah's going to slaughter. Phoenix is going to get killed.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about the Blazers. The Blazers or whatever. They're dead man walking.
I like that series. I think that's going to be the most entertaining, and I think that one's going to go 7. Yes. And then second will obviously be the Clippers and Mavericks.
Okay.
Low-key, a little storyline I just want to say before we move on. I'm sorry. Chris Paul and LeBron being friends.
Being BFF. What do they call that shit?
You think LeBron slides him a little win?
No. What's that stupid thing they did?
Banana boat?
Banana boat gang. Thank you. No. I mean, LeBron's kind of a shitty friend. He's like, hey, bro, I gotta clap you up real quick.
I have to do this. All right, but look, let's get into the Eastern Conference because it's kind of interesting, even though some people think it's a lot weaker.
I feel kind of bad we're spending so little time on the 1 seed, but I'm pretty sure everyone in the America is considering like, yeah, this is going to be a cakewalk for both 1 seeds.
Yeah. So let's go to the 1 seed Sixers. They're going to either be playing the Indiana Pacers, and the Boston Celtics. No, the Wizards.
The Wizards. Sorry. Well, really quick, Wizards or Indiana? Who you picking? Winston's watching.
Winston, you're watching? Damn it, Winston. I'm sorry. I got to go Pacers.
I'm going Pacers, too. I'm sorry, Winston.
We were with your Wizards last podcast, bro.
We'll never pick the Boston Celtics. Boston could be playing Iraq. I take Iraq.
Yeah, Russ just scares me. But let's assume that the Pacers win, okay? And then we'll give a little scenario at the end if the Wizards get in. But Sixers against the Pacers. Look, Sixers are just flat out a way better team. And that's just the facts, man.
You know why I want the Pacers to win low key? So we can get Sabonis versus Embiid. Just to plug our video a little bit. A little shameful plug.
I know, man. That would be great to see. That's, kind of selfishly, we both want that. But look, Ben Simmons, MVP candidate, and Joel Embiid, they're just better off the board, man. It's just their defense is great, like top 10 in every statistical category. they're amazing. Like, I don't see him losing in the first round. No freaking chance. But one guy that scares me, Doc Rivers.
Really? Doc?
As
Are you
far as
talking
the
about
playoff run in general.
Okay, that's what I was. I thought you were going to say, honestly, Ben Simmons, because I think the first round for the Sixers is going to be a little telling in just how they play. Is Ben Simmons going to look lost? Because even remember when they won with Jimmy Butler, he still didn't know what the fuck to do against the Nets. He's just still standing there, like in the dunker spot, can't do shit. That's what I'm kind of curious to see, how they utilize Ben Simmons.
Well, it's going to be weird, okay? Because sometimes they close out with this lineup. They close out with Thibault, Simmons, Curry, Harris, and Embiid. Did I just name 6 guys?
No, you said Thibault,
Yeah.
Embiid, Harris, Simmons, Curry.
Okay, I'm good.
Keep this in. We're good.
Okay.
We're not editing this podcast. We're good. We're just at a 3-hour stream. We are good. I mean, that lineup sounds good, but you have 2 non-shooters.
Okay,
like
that's what I'm scared about.
2 okay, this is what I said with Tyler, aka Senior Nula. They're like negative floor spacers. Like, they condense instead of like LaMarcus Aldridge. He's not a floor spacer, but he can, like, if your floor is this, it gets like that, right? It gets a little bigger, and then Ben Simmons is like,
yeah. But that lineup is amazing defensive wise. That's why they like to have it. But like you said, it's tough. Like, you're going to have 2 non-shooters out there. But it's like, do you put in a guy like Danny Green?
I don't see why not. Danny Green's been really good for them. He's been everything I wish he was for the Lakers last year. Look, against the Pacers, they're going to smoke them, right?
Wizards.
Wizards. And this is what I wrote for the Wizards real quick. I don't think we touched on this. You get to see Ben Simmons in a playoff game versus Russell Westbrook in a playoff game. Arguably 2 of the most flawed people to be in the playoffs, just like the way they play. So I'm kind of rooting for that. Anything else you want to add before we hit the X factors?
They hit the X factors. I want to say a little something after, just on the playoff run in general.
I'm sorry. Say the thing about Doc Rivers, because I cut you off.
Yeah, okay. Doc Rivers. I'm scared about him as a whole in this little playoff run. Because look, let's face the facts, guys. This guy hasn't won shit since 2008. He's had those Clippers teams. He wound up failing.
That's kind of crazy how many he's played 180 playoff games.
Exactly.
That's a freaking ton.
1 championship. That's it.
He has won 14 playoff series by my count. I could be wrong, but I'm
and I want to say about
right.
probably about 10 of them are from the big 3, from the Celtics days, to be honest.
First year they won 4. The next year they won 1. That's 5. Then they won 3.
Exactly.
How many is that?
That's already...
Like 9?
Yeah.
And then they won, I think, 2 more.
Yeah. Most of them are from the big 3 people. So look, my main point is that's what scares me about the Philadelphia 76ers is Doc Rivers. And yeah, maybe he's on this little like PG thing, like I'm sinking for revenge type of shit.
Well, it's his first year, and that's like when he's at his best. And
exactly.
then like every year gets a little shittier.
Exactly. But he scares me. I want to believe in the 76ers. I love Joel Embiid. He can dominate the league. He got in shape and he fucking dominated, like me and Max kind of said. But the facts are, Doc Rivers scares the shit out of me, bro. I don't know what it is. Like, people love him, and
he sometimes just doesn't adjust. He's kind of like the Bucks in a way. He's like, yeah, it's what we do. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go down with our guy. It's like last year, he couldn't figure out how to stop Jokic. Like they tried, they just would like just keep switching it with Paul George and Kawhi. Like he's gonna get toast. Yeah. It's like, why are you playing Montrezl Harrell? He cannot play right now.
Just watch out for that, Sixer fans.
So is that your X factor for the Sixers, Doc Rivers?
Fuck
coaching?
It. Yeah.
I have Ben Simmons in the half court. If the Wizards play them, Westbrook shooting. If the Pacers play them, I have
Thibault's my role player. Just to put that out there.
Dang, that's to change mine.
Shake Milton?
No, hold on. I'm trying to think of one for the Pacers real quick.
Oh, it's definitely McBuckets, bro.
No,
Dougie.
yeah, that's my role player, but I'm trying to think of like a good
X factor,
like kind of like a storyline. It's
for LeVert.
Yeah, like how's LeVert fare?
Yeah, it's LeVert.
Like when he's like the second guy. And the 76ers, my role player is Seth Curry.
Great role player. Yeah, he'll be big.
Damn, you said Thibault. That's a good one.
Yeah, Thibault's good, man. I think he's underrated. He only averages 4 points per game, but he is really good on the defensive end. He's a good young player. Let's move on, though. Spend a little bit too much time on the Sixers.
We got to pick the series.
Bro, it's Sixers.
Sweep.
Sweep them.
Hold on, let me
Bring out the brooms. We should have got a broom.
break a broom like Shaq and Chuck last year on Inside the NBA.
First sweep. What you looking at?
No, I'm just typing in our picks.
I can move on.
Yeah, we good.
All right, let's move on to the Brooklyn Nets. They're either going to be playing the. Oh no, they're not.
They are confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed right now. Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics, the 2 against the 7 seed. Nets, obviously, storylines. Can KD, Harden, the big three, like stay healthy? You know what I mean? How will Kyrie and KD and Harden chemistry be? Like chemistry issues with the Lakers and Nets, they kind of got the same problems. Like it's chemistry, it's health. We really don't know where it is. And the third and final one, defense. How the fuck are these three guys gonna play defense? Like even though KD is not all that bad of a defender, it's really when he wants to. And you don't really want a guy like that that's so lethal on offense, wasting a lot of energy on defense. So that brings up the question, like Kyrie can't play no defense. Harden can't play no defense. How the fuck are they going to be guarding these pick and rolls?
That is a very good question. Before I answer, season series, Nets won all 3. Kemba missed a game. KD and Harden missed the game. Jaylen Brown missed the game. Throw this shit out. I'm just giving you the facts.
Yeah.
I would say Jeff Green on Tatum. Just blitz Tatum. I would make somebody else beat me. I don't give a fuck if Marcus Smart shoots 15 threes. Go for it, bro.
Exactly.
Naismith, shoot him. You said storylines, right? Or I have to say them.
For the Celtics, I didn't. For the Nets, I already did.
Yeah. Is this a sweep or a gentleman's sweep?
Gentleman sweep.
What's going on? Like, there is no one on this team, in my opinion, that can replace Jaylen Brown. They have nobody who could step up. It's not like I know Kyle Kuzma's no AD, but I feel like he can step up and score like 17, right?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody on this team who can score. Like Marcus Smart's going to score like 20 instead of 10. Yeah. No, thanks.
Even
Fournier,
even Tatum,
not really.
Even Tatum.
He's going to get 35 a game. They're going to get blown out every game. It's not like they can defend either. The Boston Celtics, not really.
Yeah. I have no faith in the Boston Celtics.
The only way they win the series is if they get hurt. The Nets get hurt. That's it. And Brooklyn wins the series if they don't get hurt.
And look, and if you want to hear a little bit more into detail, if the Celtics wind up losing and are playing predictions for the tournament, we talked about a situation where Brad Stevens would be on the hot seat if they wind up getting swept. Me and Max truly believe that.
We were wrong, though, about them getting bounced from the play-in. Like, I can't believe they beat Washington. I mean, I can believe it because Washington's just disappointing ass team.
Yeah. Let's do X factors and role players. Who you got?
X factor for the Nets, health, chemistry. That's it. Nothing else matters. Celtics X factor is where do you get the points?
Robert Williams,
Time Lord, Marcus Smart. If Marcus Smart can shoot 100% from 3, that's it. Man. My Nets role player is Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
/ Joe Harris. You can pick them. Celtics X factor role players Evan Fournier.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if they can steal a game.
My X factor, I'm gonna go on the Nets side. I'm gonna stay away from the Celtics side, but on the Nets side, for role player, I'm gonna go Jeff Green.
I like that one. Maybe if you can slow down Tatum, make this.
Jeff Green is gonna be huge for the Nets in general because he's the guy that plays the small ball position. So he's gonna be playing a lot of minutes against the teams like the Celtics, who don't really run a traditional big man all the time. And then for an X factor, I'm gonna go Joe Harris. I think he's the ultimate X factor because he's going to be the one guarding the best player most of the time. I would not be surprised if they put him on Jason Tatum. Like, it's just going to be the facts.
Wait, you think
every series? Yeah, it's Joe Harris.
I would say they start with Jeff Green. Maybe put some Blake Griffin.
Maybe they'll throw bodies at him.
I mean, definitely, but yeah.
That's Joe Harris. I think it's Joe Harris.
They have this, before you pick, the Nets have the second best defense, and they have the 23rd defense. To me, I don't think defense, like if you don't really lock in defensively, you're not going to be able to lock in the playoffs. Yeah. But they don't have to worry because it's not like Boston can defend. Boston's the 12th defense, and that's before Brown went out. He's one of their best defenders. And they have like a mediocre offense. Man, Boston, I'm sorry, man. It's just not your year. What do you think Brad Stevens' playoff record is?
I'm not sure. Has to be under 500.
I'll give you, he's played, let's just say, don't look at my screen. He's played 80 games. Let's just say 80 games. Around 80 games.
45, 40.
37 and 36.
Wow.
It's kind of surprising. It's
not surprising.
I think it's a little. It's like he's won 5 series, lost 6.
Not bad.
Lost 7 series. We can just add this one to the fucking list, man.
So you're going gentleman sweep? I'm going 5 games.
Let me see. I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? No, sweep.
Sweep?
Yeah.
Jeez.
What about you, gentlemen?
Gentleman sweep. I got 4-1. Maybe
the
Jason
next
Tatum
2
wins
series we talk about, and we're going to get into them right now. I'm going to actually take the lead on these last 2, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
I'm so excited. These are probably the 2 best first-round series either conference. I really believe that. Then we had the 3-seed Bucks taking on the 6-seed Heat. Season series, Bucks won 2, Heat won 1. 2 of the games were back-to-back. Jimmy didn't play at all. Shit does not matter. I don't know how the Bucks got so unlucky to play the Heat, because that's a tough-ass first-round matchup. You do not want to see the Heat. Look, the Heat were the 4 seed like 2 days ago, or like 3 days ago, and they kind of lost like 1 game and they fell out because of some tiebreaker shit.
Yeah.
The Heat are right back to being dangerous, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what seed they are. So I'll jump into the storylines. It's a rematch, chance to get revenge. We've had a lot of that. We've had a pretty good amount of revenge. The Heat culture, can they build the wall?
Yeah.
And kind of like Paul George won, can Giannis right the playoff sins?
Look, I was going over this on our stream. How the hell are the Milwaukee Bucks fan base gonna feel the day after they lose this playoff series, Max?
They're not gonna. I don't agree with that assessment of them.
I know, but just wrap your head around that.
They're gonna think Giannis is gonna demand a trade. Like, they're probably gonna like.
Is Giannis flawed though? I wanna play this scenario. I know you don't think it's gonna happen, but you're not always right, Max. All right, so you can't assume that. So let's go into the scenario. They do lose this series. Like, they get their ass kicked. 5 games. I consider that getting your ass kicked.
If they do
and it
that,
happens
you
again,
have to really look. I mean, Budenholzer's gone. If they don't win this series, doesn't matter. 7 games, 5 games, Budenholzer's out. It's time to like start fresh with the coach. Trade Brook Lopez, maybe Dante DiVincenzo, get another piece. I mean, I like the core. I like Giannis, Middleton, Holiday. It's a really good core. Like,
I think it just brings up the problem with Giannis, man. And
but like,
it's kind of like Westbrook.
He's still got some room to grow. And like, look, we can talk about it. Like, I'll give you the stats. Like, I actually just want to give you the stats for this season. When he played the Heat, he averaged 17 a game, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. This is what I thought was interesting. Chris Middleton, 18.7 assists, 7 rebounds. Drew Holiday, 19.7 assists, 4 rebounds. I really like that, like the diversity in their passing, right? Like, you have 3 guys averaging 7 assists. That's pretty freaking good. They didn't have that last year. Like, Bledsoe for them is a lost cause. Like, to me, Drew Holiday is like worth 2 Bledsoes, right? Like, the Bucks are so much better this year. I'm gonna be pissed off if 2 things happen though. If Giannis doesn't take time, like a big chunk of the game guarding Jimmy, because I think Drew Holiday's the best defender to guard Jimmy. He's the best at guarding perimeter. Giannis is the best like free safety / like Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
And Middleton's good too. All 3 of these guys should just wear down Jimmy. Kind of like how LeBron's been got wore down by like Draymond, Iguodala, Durant,
Throw bodies. Yeah.
Barnes, whatever. I know those guys didn't play on the same team. That's my point, to wear him down. So I'm going to ask you for both. Bucks win this series, what needs to happen? Heat win this series, what needs to happen?
Giannis has to take more of a role of a playmaker. He can't run into that wall. Like, I hope he doesn't go into the series thinking that he needs to shoot, because that's obviously hasn't worked out. And I don't think his game is developed to the point where he can get what like at will. And that's either posting up or whatever. Like, I feel like that's a big flaw in him. Like, he doesn't know how to score from the post. Like, that's a big thing with him. Like, it's just awkward when you see it, in my opinion. Like, he's just a freight train going to the basket. He has really no creativity to his game.
Sometimes he like surprised me with like some Euro steps, but that's really it. And like, you're right. He needs to stop trying to be a guard and be a big. Excuse me. I think if they were going to win this series, they need to adapt. The Heat are going to throw the kitchen sink at them, right? If something's not working, like if Brook Lopez isn't playing good, stop playing Brook Lopez. If Pat Connaughton sucks crap, stop playing Pat Connaughton. And I don't want to see Giannis play 30 minutes a game, 42 a night, 43. Stop doing that Buck shit where it's like, oh, we play these guys 20 minutes and 20 more minutes. It's like, no, Jimmy Butler's playing like 45 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And for the Heat, Bam Adebayo, needs to dominate the paint. He needs to stonewall Giannis. He's kind of been his kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
And then Butler has to be clutch. That's all it needs to happen.
Well, look, we're talking about the Bucks. Another thing about the Bucks, a big guy who's probably going to be my X factor, or role player, should I say? PJ Tucker. Like, he's a good creative. Like, when Brook Lopez is not playing well, like a guy that you can throw in.
I like that they can kind of downsize, but not downsize, if that makes, because they can just slide Giannis to the 5, him to the 4, and he's like pretty fucking good.
Either way, though. Either way, like just him being out there. But look, I want to get into the Heat. I agree. Like, Bam Adebayo has to show his presence. Like, he needs to dominate. Jimmy, clutch, all of that. One guy that doesn't get brought up, that was a big part of their success, Dragic. Where's he been? Like, I know he's been hurt throughout the season, and
he just hasn't been the same guy. Yeah. But if they can get that Bam Dragic like pick and roll going, that could unlock this team. And I think that's what's kind of scary, because the way Milwaukee plays, they just drop. And Goran Dragic is gonna floater them to death. And I'll get into it in my X factors. Actually, can I get into it now? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
I'm gonna hit it with the team stats before I say the X factors, right? So the Heat, they were the 21st team in shooting the 3 on offense, so 35%, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks were the 27th team in defending the 3. They let teams shoot 38%. Bucks have the best offense. The Heat have the 5th best defense. No surprise, right?
Yeah.
The reason I bring up the 3-point shooting numbers is because my X factor role players for the Heat, I put white boy shooting, aka Hero and Robinson.
Yeah.
If they can have a big shooting performance, because Milwaukee's going to give up the 3. You know how they play. That's going to swing the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I think that point is very great with the white boy shooting. Like, Hero and Duncan Robinson were a big part of their success. Like, I felt like that's what made them different. Was one, the terrorizing pick and roll that Bam and Dragic was doing, number one. And number two, how great those two guys were shooting consistently in every playoff game series in the bubble.
And they weren't like obviously they're going to get picked on defensively, right? But they were serviceable until they went up against the Lakers.
And to be honest, the one game that they won, who had a big game?
Snarl Boy, a.k.a. Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson. They had a great game. Other than the game Jimmy, like team on the back game. Yeah. So, okay, my Bucks role player X factor is Brook Lopez. He kind of has to step up his game. Like, he's a good player. Like, to be honest, I don't know why they don't throw him in the post more. I know that's not really what they do. But, like, if I had a lineup where, like, say, like, the second unit's in, right? You got Middleton, Holiday, DiVincenzo, or Connaughton, Tucker, and Lopez. Why wouldn't you post up Lopez on Bam? It's not like Bam's this great post defender. He's just a good rim protector. And Brook Lopez kind of has, like, that dying art of the post game. Not a lot of guys have that anymore. Yeah. So get some easy buckets. My Heat X factor, Bam Adebayo. He's got to be big. And the Bucks, how do they adapt? Adaptability of the Bucks. Yeah. I'm going to go X factor for the Heat. I'm definitely going to go Goran Dragic. I like that one. Yeah. Like Dragic, sometimes Dragic is kind of like the engine of the Heat, right? Like, if he's like going good, the offense is going really good. Yes. He's just another outlet that they can go to. For a role player for the Heat, Andre Iguodala. I hate to break it to Heat fans. He plays a lot of minutes for you guys. So does Trevor Ariza. They play like a good amount of minutes. Those guys are old, bro. So it's like, if those guys have bad games, it's like, fuck, why we play you guys? Iguodala's not as good as Ariza. I would say like
They play a lot of minutes.
No, they've taken a step back. Like Crowder and Olenek were better than last year for them.
Yeah,
it's kind of those guys are like that's why they're your role players, man. It's kind of like they could be really good, they could be really bad, man.
Yeah, and role player for the Bucks, I'm gonna go. Let's go
with
Tucker. PJ Tucker.
You got another one you want to throw out?
And then X Factor, I'm gonna go with Chris Middleton.
The play of Middleton?
Yes.
Yeah. He's got to step up. It's time to he's been really good in the regular season.
Time to put your big boy pants on. Just like you, Max, because who's winning this series?
Milwaukee 4-2. 6 games.
Damn.
All the games are gonna be tough though.
Yes, they're gonna be great games. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. This is the toughest series to pick. I'm gonna go Heat in 7. I'm going Heat in 7. Shout out to all the Miami Heat fans. I'm going Miami in 7. Fuck it, let's do it. The Bucks are losing. It's gonna be a horrible day in Milwaukee when it happens.
Which button does the Spice Adams? That one. Yeah, thanks. Nah, you're tripping. Milwaukee all the way. But that brings us to our last and final series. This one's gonna be really fun, in my opinion. We got the 4-seed Knicks. That sounded so bad coming out. Like, I can't believe the Knicks are in the playoffs. The 4
Is it 2012? Are we doing our podcast in 2012?
No, it's
2021. I just want to make sure.
Man, I'm fumbling. It's late, and I'm fumbling my words. Like, I feel like this has been the most chill podcast. Like, I'm not really getting. I'm just like talking. Yeah, like monotone, like my Barry White voice, bro. But no, Knicks the 4 seed playing the Hawks 5 seed. The Hawks started off slow, filed Lloyd Pierce. We know how it goes. Todd Thibodeau put the new culture in place. Season series. This is the only time I think it kind of matters. Knicks beat them 3-0. Gallinari missed a game. Hunter missed 2 games. Chris Dunn missed a game, if you want to call that a thing. The reason I bring that up, I'll get into that later. But you can start with whatever you want to start with. Storylines, go for it.
Yeah, storylines. I mean, the Knicks haven't been there in a fucking long ass time.
I wrote one down. Don't say that, like the top one.
Okay.
I'm gonna save that.
Can the dream season continue? Obviously. Like, the Knicks are a fun story, bro. Like, they're just really fun to.
They've changed their perception in 1 year,
yeah.
And it's kind of funny how like it's not that fucking hard. Just don't be an idiot.
A big storyline that I think too for the Knicks. You're basically playing for a star player here. That's the way I'm looking at it. You're playing for that superstar max guy to sign with you.
Tim Hardaway. Yeah.
Tim Hardaway.
Again.
You're playing for Kawhi, guys. No, in all seriousness. I know you don't think Kawhi's going to leave, but Knick fans, you're playing for fucking Kawhi, bro. Prove that you can at least go to the second round.
What an awful market and player match. Like, we have the biggest market with the quietest guy, even though he's got like an
LA, bro. Come on. He can succeed in LA. He can succeed in New York.
No, he can succeed. I'm just talking about like, think about all the endorsements he's not going to do.
He does a shit ton for LA. He's all over the fucking place.
He does like New Balance and dumb shit. Like,
I see that motherfucker everywhere. He's on the billboard. He's on the freeway. He's on freaking Wheatie boxes. Like, goddamn.
You eat Wheaties?
I don't know.
You a bump for that,
I've
coach.
seen it. No, I think you're out of your mind, though. That dude takes endorsements like crazy. Riding in the fucking Cadillac and lowrider. Fucking, this is our town. Fuck out of here.
Okay, my bad. I was wrong. My bad.
Got a little Kawhi hate coming out.
So my top storyline, and this is the number one X factor for the Hawks. How do they contain Julius Randle? He averaged 37, 6 assists, and 12 rebounds on 58% shooting. You look at this Hawks roster. I'll just say the bigs: John Collins. Clint Capella, I don't know how to say his name. Ogwangwu. I don't know how to say his name. He's a young, Onike. Yeah, he's a young gun. There's no one to match up with him. That's what I'm scared about for them. Like, he's gonna eat. Barrett played good against them, 21 points. Like, Trae Young's gonna get his, right? I'm not too worried about that if I'm the Knicks. So that's what it's going to come down to. That's how the Hawks win the series. They can contain Randle. The Knicks, don't speed up the game. Don't be an idiot. Don't play their game. Let Trae Young score, but do not let him get other people going. I think the Hawks are at their worst when Trae Young's taking 30 shots and everyone's standing around. Also, Knicks, target him in every fucking thing you do on offense. Screen.
Yeah, make him play defense. Like, you got to give him the Steph Curry treatment in the finals. Like, whoever on Trae Young offense.
Yeah, exactly. So you can add to either.
Yeah, I like the Knicks a lot in this series, Max. I don't have trust in Trae Young. Like, something about them just seems fishy. I want to like them. Me and you both liked them in the preseason. And that whole Rondo experiment wound up going in the fucking shambles. They fired their head coach. But I don't like it. I smell a Knicks playoff series win and going to the second round. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just the facts, bro. And one thing about the Knicks, a guy that doesn't get brought up a lot and who I'm kind of changing my perspective on, Derrick Rose. Like, I think Derrick Rose is going to be a big
role player to watch?
Yes. Like, not even a role player, X Factor. And I know a lot of people are probably going to pick RJ Barrett, but Derrick Rose is that guy. Like, he's a guy where you look to go score a bucket late in the clutch, besides Randall.
I had for my X Factor for the Knicks was just target Trae Young. So I guess it was kind of like my key to the series.
Yeah.
And my Hawks X Factor is ability to get timely stops and how Bogdanovich is able to take over games at times. X Factor for the Knicks, I like Nerlens Noel. I think he's pretty like a pain in the ass to deal with at times. You said Derrick Rose, that was like gonna be mine. And then my role player is Clint Capella. If he can slow down Randall.
What about Emmanuel Quickly?
I don't think
Too young.
I don't think Thibodeau's gonna rely on the young guys in a playoff series. No offense to them.
How surprised would you be if one of these Knicks players get hurt because they're just playing way too many minutes? Especially Randall.
Yeah, I could see that happening a little.
Fuck,
Derrick Rose is gonna be like, this fucking asshole. Like before we pick, I'll give you some team stats just so you can think about it. The Knicks were the 5th best shooting 3-point team in the league, which is kind of surprising. First in points given up per game, first in field goal percentage, first in 3-point percentage on defense.
Wow.
Hawks were basically pedestrian on everything on offense, and they were pedestrian on everything on defense except 3-point percentage. They were 3rd.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That's pretty impressive. Like, they stopped the 3-point ball.
Yeah, but I don't really see how they didn't stop like people at the rim or field goal percentage.
They probably favored the 3, though.
Yeah, they're just trying to take away the 3.
Yeah,
I'm
smart.
kind of curious to see how DeAndre Hunter plays. So he's been banged up for a long part of the year. If they can get him back, that'll be big.
I would feel a lot different if DeAndre Hunter was playing good.
I'm just scared, though. I mean, I'm not scared. If I'm a Hawks fan, I'm just scared because the number one defense, and like I said, the playoffs is more geared for defense. Like, you're allowed to play better defense, and I'm worried about Trae Young like getting physically overwhelmed. That's why I'm picking the Knicks 4 games to 3. It'll be close because the Knicks have such a trouble scoring at times. But I'm still gonna take the Knicks, man. I think this will be very exciting. It'll be rough. I think there's going to be a fight or two or like a scuffle for sure because these are like the Knicks play so freaking hard.
Yeah. They play super hard, bro. They're like a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. I'm going to go the Knicks in 6, 4-2.
We probably should have said this, and we're probably foolish for not. There's a lot of young guys in this series, so it's going to be fun to see how they react. And I consider Randall kind of young in the playoffs. He's never been the guy on a playoff team.
Yeah, first time.
And Trae Young's first taste of the playoffs, John Collins, like basically the whole Hawks roster.
Yeah.
And then the Knicks, there's a lot of like Barrett, Quickly.
So we both rolling with the Knicks, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, there you have it. We picked every playoff series. We got it under an hour, it looks like. I'm proud of ourselves, bro. I'm tired. But look, I got one more question for you, Max.
Yeah.
I want you to pick the MVP of the playoffs. Everyone wants to always talk about. If you guys noticed, we didn't really do a award.
We did the All NBA teams, but that's more of like 20 guys. It's more of a conversation.
And I really got tired of it. And I kind of think that the awards are kind of a joke in the NBA.
So if you're gonna do the playoff MVP, it's got to be someone who's gonna go deep, right?
Yes. So who's your playoff MVP? If you had to choose one. The reason why I bring this up is because
LeBron or Durant.
LeBron or Durant?
I feel like those are the teams that are going to go the furthest, so it's going to be one of them.
But you feel like Durant's going to be like that? I feel like he's going to take a lot of playoff
What about
series
Kyrie?
off. I can see Kyrie as one.
Okay, who's your pick?
One that's very under the radar, and I know you're going to disagree. I'm going to go Ben Simmons.
They're not going to go far in the playoff. Oh, maybe they'll go far, but
They're going to go far.
I feel like Embiid would have been a better pick.
I'm going to go Ben Simmons. I'm going to go out on a limb. I know you know.
And, I will say this really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we will do another breakdown in the second round playoffs start. Like,
we're going to.
The reason I said that is because I feel bad we didn't talk about the Sixers or Jazz that much, but it's like, you guys are going to fuck up the other team, so it's not going to matter.
Don't worry about it, guys. We're going to be covering the NBA playoffs like crazy, bro. If you guys didn't know, we're going to be doing a live podcast every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. That's why you got to freaking subscribe, bro. Subscribe, like the video.
And follow Max_Woncast on all social media platforms, right?
Exactly.
All right. And YouTube, Max and Woncast. Google it on YouTube or YouTube at whatever. Subscribe. Hit the fucking bell.
Hit the bell, bro. Hit it. Just knock it. Knock it into place, bro.
And what do you hit that subscribe button like, One, or smash that like button?
You smash that like button like how Draymond Green smashes LeBron's eye and then he fucking hits it right in Curry's eye. That's what we on, baby.
That's
all
fine,
right.
my guy.
Happy freaking Christmas with all the NBA fans. The playoffs are starting, bro. I'm so excited. Tune in Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Live streams, baby. Stop messing with the damn mic because that is making a lot of noise for them.
Can they hear that?
Yes, they can hear that, Max.
Sorry.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We're extremely grateful. See you next time. Peace.